Well, it makes no sense for me to stand out in the open like this. And Yuri, obviously. I decided to see what Yuri was up to. I spot Yuri in her usual spot at the front of the room. I tepidly approach her. Sorry. It's just a bit tappety. Yeah, in the same way a dumper truck is. Sorry. Top Gear reference. He will now change the oil in your car and all the spark plugs. We decided to head to Top Gear's top secret antique restoration center on the A451 just outside of Kidderminster. It's a different episode, but still. Yeah, I just had to think of the... So it's just a bit tappety. Yeah, in the same way a dumper truck is. Yeah, I had to think of that line because of that. But anyway, I tepidly approach her as she seems to be absorbed into her book. However, she quickly spots me heading her way. Hey, Mark. She smiles warmly at me. Hey, Yuri, what's up? Oh, just reading chapter 7. How about you? Aside from that horrific nightmare I had last night, and the hallucination I experienced this morning, which there's no chance I'm sharing any of that with Yuri. Ah, really? Come on. You can share that with Yuri. It would also really show the connection a bit, you know. Like I'm entrusting her with some personal stuff. Also shows to her that I'm super comfortable around her, you know. Oh, I'd say it's been alright. Nothing too exciting. Well, that's good to hear, Mark. Were you able to finish chapter 6? Yeah, I finished it last night actually. It was pretty interesting. That wasn't completely true. I did finish the chapter, but I finished it today during class when I was bored. I wouldn't want to give Yuri the impression that I'm a slacker. Well, I'm glad you got to read it. I just got started with reading chapter 7 actually. So we can read it together if you want. Yuri looks off in her unusual flustered manner. You know I'd love to, Yuri. Oh, right. How silly of me. I sit down next to Yuri. I take it we're doing the same thing as last time? Yeah, that works for me. I shoot Yuri a warm smile, which immediately causes her to blush. Well, let's get reading. Yuri nods approvingly at me as we begin to read chapter 7. After reading for a few minutes, I hear a new soundtrack. I see Yuri shifting uncomfortably in her seat. Everything good, Yuri? Yeah, it's just that my posture isn't too good right now. Alright, her posture. I can't believe I forgot about that. Do you want to move to under the windowsill again? That's Natsuki's spot. Piss off, Natsuki! Yuri and I are reading here. I mean, if you're comfortable here, I don't mind. Yuri, I don't want you to be uncomfortable if sitting like this is going to make your back ache. I really don't mind where we... I really don't mind where we read as long as we're together. Wow, okay, that's a bit too forward. Oh. Might have been a little... I called it. Might have been a little too forward there. Yuri's completely caught off guard and frantically fiddles with her hair as she figures out how to respond. Yeah, let's just sit down. Okay. Yuri and I take our seats under the windowsill. Ironically enough, we actually sat here before. For the exact same reason. I don't mind it though. I enjoy being like this with Yuri. Yuri hands me the book as she peers over my shoulder to read. Do you feel better now? Yeah, I do. I can't really see the book though. Oh, my bad. I try to bring the book closer to Yuri, but it makes my arm feel awkward. Let me try something. Yuri pushes the book back towards me. Oh? Awkward. So I guess they like got a different artist for every one of the... What the hell? Oh, that's a page. Okay, I thought that was his blouse or whatever. So I was like, what the hell? How the hell is this why the hell is this blazer open like that when the line is there? So it's like, what? But no, that's a page of the book. But yeah, it looks like they got like a different artist for every single of these, what the hell is it called? Of these screens, CGs, I believe it's called. But yeah, they got like a different artist for everyone. That's pretty cool. I mean, it looks that way. Because, you know, and Sayori's right as well. The one where I was hugging Sayori looked spot on. Like it was like literally as if it came from the game itself, like from the main game or something. Like it was like some sort of hidden CG that was cut out from the game or something. That it looked really accurate like that. And then the other one where I believe it was, what was I doing? Was I tickling Sayori or something? And I was holding her arms like that after she beat me at Mario Kart. That looked completely different to the other one. And this looks different again. So I'm guessing they've got like a different artist for every single different screen, which is pretty cool, actually. Didn't really occur to me until now. She then puts her head on my shoulder. No, she puts her head against my head. But okay, I'll take it. I immediately feel the blood rush to my face and filled with shock. Not that I don't mind Yuri doing that, but the fact that she actually went out of her comfort zone to do this astonishes me. This isn't too distracting for you, right? Well, about that, Yuri. Oh no! Oh no, not at all. I actually kind of like this. Yuri looks off and blushes. She regains her composure and looks back at me. Good. I was hoping you wouldn't find me weird for doing this. I like it when you're expressive. You should do it more. Yuri lets out a small giggle. Well, if you want me to, I will. Noted. With our great banter aside, we pick up where we left off. The chapter turns out to be the best one yet. In the chapter, the main character... Oh god, this girl named Libitina. No, there's no H. Libitina. No H behind the T, so Libitina is given a second chance to repair her broken relationship with her uncle, who she is currently living with. Most of the chapter is told through the monologue as Libitina internally debates if it's worth repairing her relationship with her uncle. This reminds me of Higurashi. The whole chapter, I can't remember what it's called, but the whole season where well, it's in multiple seasons, but the season where Satoko is with her uncle. That's her uncle, right? I believe it's her uncle. But yeah, the whole season where spoiler alert. For anyone who hasn't seen Higurashi, go watch it. But spoiler alert, the part where Rika has... where all the characters remember their previous deaths. And Rika is like, maybe we can actually change fate this time. And then it goes really well until Satoko's uncle... the situation with Satoko's uncle happens again. And then Rika... along with Keiichi and Mion Shion and everybody else, like rallies the entire town up to save Satoko from her abusive uncle. You know, this is also kind of the same. Well, like, not really, but a bit. I mean, it's a troubled relationship with her uncle. And that reminds me of Satoko and her relationship with her uncle in Higurashi. But yeah, it reminded me of that season. I can't remember which season that is, but like season 2 or 3 or something. Where all the characters remember their previous deaths from the other timelines. And then Rika is like, we could actually change fate right now. This has never happened before. And then she rallies the entire town up to save Satoko from her abusive uncle. Anyway, yeah, I read that. And she's on the run from a leak of... Yeah, well, that isn't... that isn't in Higurashi. Well, then again, there is the... that organization there. To release the Himazigawa disease. She's on the run from the League of Escapees who wants her back in order to complete some ritual. It's quite interesting, actually. And through her logic, she knows mending fences with her uncle is the right thing to do. She knows that she might not get another chance to make him happy, but she doesn't know if it's even worth it in the long run. After a while, we reach the end of the chapter, with Libitina deciding to talk to her friend about what she should do. Do you think she'll do it, Mark? Do you think Libitina will end up making things right with her uncle? I mean, I hope she does. Very rarely do people get a second chance to do the right thing. If I was her, I'd take it. Yeah, me too. Again, Yuri, you read this before. Why are you acting like you have never read it before? I mean, I guess you want to keep it new for me and just talk about it, but still. You're like actually acting like you have never read this before, but you have. Because you said so in the main game. We sit for the next few moments in silence, unsure of what to do next. Yuri seems to be deep in thought. She takes a deep breath and turns to face me again. I'm really glad we get to spend time like this, Mark. Yeah, me too. And... Yuri hesitates. And what? I'm glad that you've given me a chance. I hear Yuri's voice break as he says that, but she continues to press on, sounding like she's trying to fight back tears. Truth is, I haven't had a real friend in years. Not since middle school has anyone treated me like an actual person. I've honestly almost forgotten what it was like to enjoy being with someone who cares about you. I feel my heart sink into my chest as she says that. Yuri did mention to me a few weeks ago that she usually spends all her time alone, but I never knew she'd been alone for so long. And so, it means a lot to me that we finally got to spend time together again. Without thinking, I take Yuri's hand and lean into her. Hi! Yuri looks up to me, her violet eyes being reflective in the sunlight. I see a smile slowly forming across her face. Yuri, you don't have to be alone anymore. Yuri's face turns full crimson. Mark, Yuri squeezes my hand tightly. We struggle to make eye contact for longer than a few seconds. I try to muster up the courage to keep talking, but for some reason, I can't. We're just intently looking at each other, both stammering as we try to find what we want to say to each other. I feel Yuri's gentle breaths brush against my face as she slowly leans in as well. This feels like heaven. Are we seriously doing this right here, right now, in the middle of the club? But I don't know what to do. This is the perfect opportunity for me to make progress with Yuri. Significant progress, but I'm afraid that someone's going to catch us and immediately get the wrong idea. I glance around the room to see Natsuki rummaging around in the closet, Sayori spacing out, and Monika working on something. I turn back to face Yuri. Is this it? Is this my chance to finally make a move on Yuri? I mean, we're already so close. I close my eyes and feel Yuri placing her hand on my chest as she pulls me in. Here goes nothing. Suddenly I hear Monika stand up and walk to the front of the room. I knew it! I knew Monika was going to block it somehow. Okay everyone, gather around, I have an important announcement to make. Suddenly Monika and Sayori's eyes turn to me and Yuri. Natsuki, confused as to what's going on, turns around, only to see that what Monika and Sayori are staring at. Yuri and I were really just about to, and the position we're in really doesn't make it any easier to explain. God fucking damn it, Monika! All three girls are looking at us with a bit of an irritated, almost jealous expression on their faces. Great. Well, it's up to me to attempt to salvage the situation. Yuri? Yuri snaps out of her gaze. Yeah, what's wrong? We kind of have to get up. Now, how is it salvaging the situation? Yuri turns to face the front of the room. And she sees Monika, Sayori, and Natsuki staring at us. Yuri immediately stands up and brushes herself off, clearly embarrassed. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry everyone. I didn't mean for you guys to see us like that. And Monika, Natsuki and Sayori all look off in different directions, trying to avoid making the situation even more awkward than it already is. Eventually Monika speaks up. It's alright, Jerry. Come on. She gestures for us to come forward to the front of the room. Jerry briskly walks to the front and takes her usual spot. I stand up as well and make my way to the room. What do you mean? I'm already in the room. Make my way to the front of the room, joining the rest of the group. On my way to the front of the room, Natsuki gives me a friendly punch in the arm. Ouch! Hey, what the hell was that for? Nothing, dummy. She mutters that softly and avoids eye contact as she briskly walks past me. Well, that was random. I hope she isn't... Do you really... what could possibly be wrong there? Hopefully then she won't put me in the hospital. Yeah, that's a bigger concern indeed. Oh well. Oh well. We all take our seats at the front of the room with Monika standing right in front of us. Okay everyone, here is the news. Starting next week, the student newspaper and photography club are going to be going around and doing a profile on all the different clubs. It's part of their biannual Meet the Clubs piece that they do every semester. As of now, they're scheduled to meet with us to do their piece next Monday, so I was hoping that we could think of something that'll really show off the club. Natsuki audibly groans. Is this going to be like a festival again? Monika seems to be taken aback by this, but she tries to shrug it off. No, not really. We won't have to be performing for anyone this time, and I certainly don't think we need to put in the same level of preparation for this compared to the festival. But I would appreciate it if we could at least come up with something nice that'll show off the club. Everyone takes a moment to collect their thoughts. After a moment of silence, Natsuki is the first to speak up. I wouldn't mind making cupcakes again, I still have plenty of ingredients left over. I did happen to keep the welcome band that Mark and I made for the festival, I just need to find it. It's somewhere at my house, and I wouldn't mind some help looking for it. Yuri looks whimsically at me. She isn't asking, especially after... Yeah, I wouldn't mind helping you again, Yuri. I'd love to come over to your place anytime. Preparing for the festival with you was really fun. Yuri looks off, attempting to compose herself. Yeah, it was really nice. She says that softly to herself, but quickly realizes that everyone overheard. Oh, I mean, yeah, I would love your help. I chuckle to myself. Yuri's mannerisms have always been adorable. In the corner of my eye, I see Sayori looking tearfully at me. Yeah, I mean, I always love spending time with you all, and seeing Sayori just trying to hold back her tears completely derails my train of thought. Never did I take into account that she might not yet be comfortable with me being this flirty around Yuri yet. Yeah, so... I look like an idiot as I try to find what next to say. Thankfully, Monika comes in to seemingly save the situation. I can type up a summary of what we do on a day-to-day basis, and write some things down that we can tell the newspaper. Oh, I know what I can do! Everyone turns to Sayori. I can go to the library and get some books for us to read. I think it'd look really good for me to take pictures of us. Great call, Sayori. As for you, Mark, do you have any ideas? Yeah, and then I called this the first time. I fucking called this. I get an idea. We could bring in some famous poems that we could use for the photo ops. I think it would be great to show there's more to literature than just books. Just books. Heck, maybe you can even... Heck! I can even use our own poems. I can organize them together like Monika did, but I'll need everyone else's poems. Everyone pauses to reflect on what I just said. That's a good idea, Mark. I'll hand you all my stuff tomorrow if that's okay with you. That's perfectly fine. I have all my poems back at my place. I can give them to you later. Oh, now Yuri doesn't have her poems with her. Oh, I guess Natsuki has her poems with her now then. I'll give you them tomorrow at tomorrow's meeting, Mark. Yeah, I think I have mine with me. Let me check. Natsuki searches through her bag and retrieves a small stack of papers. Here you go, that should be everything. Natsuki hands me her poems. Thanks, Natsuki. Okay, everyone, you all know what to do. That concludes today's meeting. Be sure to find your poems and give them to Mark. Everyone begins packing the things, mostly talking about their levels of excitement for the upcoming event. As I think to myself, this would probably be the first time I've ever been interviewed for our school newspaper for anything. I know Monika's been interviewed before, and somehow Sayori has been interviewed before as well, but I guess for Natsuki, Yuri and I, it'll be our first time. I feel my anxiety start to rise as I think about it. My train of thought ends as I feel a tap on my shoulder. Ready to walk home, Mark? Yep, let's go. After I finish packing my things, Sayori and I wave goodbye to the others as we head out to start our walk home. So we do still walk home with Sayori every day. The walk home with Sayori is once again filled with awkward silence, especially considering how Sayori saw me getting too comfortable with Yuri. Though we're able to make at least some small talk, with mostly just talking about how our days went, but even then, Sayori's cagey on some of her answers and struggles to directly answer me at times. Well, if I want to fix my friendship with Sayori, I better start now. Yeah, that's true. Hey Mark? Yeah, Sayori? I think I know where my poems are. I can stop by your house in a bit and drop them off, if that's okay? Sayori's voice trails off. I see where she's going with this. Yeah, I'd love to have you over. Are you sure that's okay? I wouldn't want to ruin your plans for tonight. I take it Sayori probably thinks I'm going to have an extended cuddling session with Yuri tonight based off what she saw earlier in the club. Well, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, I got nothing going on for tonight. I'll see you in a bit, okay? Okay. Come on, I know you'd love to have... You know I'd love to have you over, it's been too long anyway. Alright, see you in a bit, Mark. See you. Sayori happily skips onto her porch and enters her house before I can say anything else. Well, that seemed to put her in a good mood. Hopefully I can start making things right between us. I drop my book back in the middle of my room and change out of my uniform. I begin looking through the messy stack of papers on my desk in an attempt to find the poems I wrote. I just hope I didn't accidentally throw them away. Triple dots. Come on, they gotta be here somewhere. Aha! There they are. I pull my poems out of my stack and start organizing them a little. Reading through them and see how far I've progressed as a writer. My more recent poems certainly seem more developed and structured compared to the first poem I wrote. As I look through my poems, I come to realize just how much Yuri has influenced my writing. I guess for spending all that time around her, I picked up on her writing habits. Despite her insecurities about her writing, I always thought her poems were fun to read. Even if her writing style is rather complex, she uses it pretty effectively to get her message across. Looking back at my poems, I realize why Yuri likes them so much. She finally found someone that she can relate to. Even though I thought she just preferred her books over people, it's quite remarkable how much closer we've gotten over the last 2 weeks. Especially how we were earlier today. I feel like if I give it a few more days, I might finally be ready to ask her out. Assuming she doesn't make the first move. I put down my poems and go back to my bag to retrieve Natsuki's poems, which I put right next to mine. I noticed in Natsuki's stack of poems there's a pink piece of paper. Yuri wrote it on a purple piece of paper and Natsuki writes it on a pink piece of paper. I don't remember Natsuki ever writing her poems on pink paper. Maybe she accidentally gave me something. Before I could investigate further, I hear my doorbell ring. Wow, Sayori was a lot quicker than I thought she'd be. I go downstairs to let Sayori in. I open the door to see Sayori standing outside with the poems. Hey Mark, I found them. She proudly hands them to me. That's awesome, thank you Sayori, you're the best. Sayori blushes at my compliments. So, wanna come in? Yeah, I'd love to. Awesome. I let Sayori into my house. I put Sayori's poems on the dining room table and join her in the living room. So, got anything planned for us? No, not really. We could just watch some TV if you want. Yeah, that's fine with me. Sayori and I take a seat on the couch right next to each other. We begin flipping through the channels to see if there's anything remotely interesting worth watching. Suddenly something catches Sayori's eye as I start rapidly moving through the channels. Oh Mark, go back! Like 2 channels. Okay. I flip back and we see it's a cartoon we used to watch a lot when we were kids. Oh wow! Expedition Time, never heard of it. I haven't seen this in ages. Yeah, we used to watch this together like every Saturday, remember? I recall Sayori always walking over to my house every Saturday to watch it with me. It was your typical action-adventure kid-friendly series, though it had a really great story for its time. What? Oh, is it supposed to be Adventure Time, but then they rephrased it to Expedition Time? I'm guessing that's what it is. I suddenly see Sayori tearing up. What's wrong, Sayori? She points at the TV. I see the episode title. This was the last episode they made. That's a bummer. I thought it was at least still being made. Though the show already had an incredibly long lifespan, it was starting to show that the producers were running out of ideas in the last few episodes we watched. I guess when we stopped hanging out, we both stopped watching it. Look at the date of the episode. Huh? It only aired a few months ago. I can't believe we missed the finale. By a few months too. Yeah, me too. Sayori wipes her eyes. Well, let's watch this episode together, for old time's sake. Let's do it. Sayori smiles as I rewind the TV to the start of the episode. As we watch the episode, I can't help but feel a few years younger. My mind is filled with all the memories I have of Sayori. From when we first met, all the games we played to the moments like this. She really was always there for me. And I was always there for her back then. What changed? The realization hits me. No, I changed. Sayori perks up. Did you say something, Mark? Oh, it was nothing. Sayori sighs and turns back to the TV. Can't help but sigh to myself either. I really shouldn't keep this from her. I already shut her down once. I was thinking to myself about the times we used to share, like this, you know? Sayori turns back to me. I was thinking about what changed that stopped us from doing this, and I see now that it was me. I guess I started getting way too into video games and anime for my own good. I didn't really realize it was destroying all the relationships that I had. Sayori tearfully looks at me. And I'm sorry, Sayori. I shouldn't have done this to you, or... Sayori puts her finger on my lips. It's fine, Mark. I'm just glad that we finally get to spend some time together. Like we always did. Sayori recoils her finger. But I've still been a bad friend to you. I've been way too careless with what I say or do around you. Especially how things went last Sunday. With how I so carelessly hurt you. I'm sorry. I really, truly... Come on, Mark. I know you wouldn't try to hurt me. But you made your choice last Sunday, and I just have to learn how to live with it. I know things are different between us now, but I don't regret... But don't let regret rule your life, Mark. Look what it did to me. But I don't even know what to do with my life. Also, that look what it did to me is very... That hurts a bit, Sayori. Don't say that. Saying like it's too late, but it's not too late. I don't even know what I feel right now. What do you mean? I don't know. I just don't know what I want now. I think I understand. Look, I'm glad I got to spend more time with the others in the club. I'm glad I've gotten to know Yuri. I'm glad that I got to spend some time with Yuri yesterday and today as well. I don't know, I feel like I should start spending some more time around you. I feel like I've been too distant from you lately. So Yuri shoots me a quizzical look. I thought you and Yuri liked each other though. I mean, we do, but we're friends. I guess I just got a little too friendly with Yuri there for a second. Yeah, you kinda did. There's a moment of uncomfortable silence between us. I really didn't mean for you to see us like that, given what happened. It's fine, Mark. I'm just glad I was able to bring you out of your shell a little. At least something good came out of that. Yeah, if it weren't for you, I'd be on my way to becoming a full-time NEET. We both chuckled to ourselves. But look, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I missed you. Sayuri pauses and takes a moment to reflect on what I just said. Mark, I missed you too. Sayuri has a mix of emotions on her face, as she becomes as bright red as her bow. I wouldn't mind spending more time around you, Mark. Yeah, it's been too long. Unable to say anything more to each other, we turn our attention back to the TV, finishing the rest of the episode. The sun sets just as the episode finished. It truly went out with a bang. Whoa, hi, why are you so dark all of a sudden, Sayuri? Well, that was fun, Mark. Yeah, it was. It was really hard to follow with some of the new characters, though. I guess we can watch the lead up to the finale together sometime. Yeah, that sounds great. Well, I have to head back, Mark. Alright, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Laters. Sayuri smiles sweetly before turning out the door and exiting my house. I sit there for a moment, reflecting on today's events. Sayuri and I were finally able to at least put some of last Sunday's events between us. Well, progress is progress. I think that to myself as I grab Sayuri's poems and head upstairs. After grabbing Sayuri's poems from the dining table, I put her stack right next to mine and Natsuki's. I remember there was something in Natsuki's stack that stood out to me. After comparing all three stacks, I see Sayuri's stack is completely identical to mine. Natsuki's stack is the only one that has a pink piece of paper. I begin to look through Natsuki's stack. As I look through her poems, I can't help but be reminded of the first time we shared. I always find joy in reading her poems. They're so simple, yet they're just as hard-hitting as Monika's, Sayuri's and Yuri's. Not to mention, I always found her word choice to be cute and adorable. It really does suit her, even if she won't admit it. Through my train of thoughts, one of the pieces of paper escapes my grip. I put the poems on my desk and bend down to grab the stray paper. I look at the title. I don't remember reading this one. And there we go. It's pink. The mouse wants to fly. Play. Fucking hell. In the back of the room is a hole in the wall. A mouse lived by her friends and she stood quite tall. At least as tall as a mouse can stand. She liked being alone, but wanted to fit in. But the girls who she knew, and also with him. But she liked something weird. So she acted tough, to avoid being treated like a wimpy cream puff. She liked spiders. Isn't that gross? She was bossy and rude, and spoke up real loud, to avoid being walked on, and because she was proud. And it worked. It worked too well. She watched her friends play from her hole of a home. She still wanted to play with them, but she was alone. She would say that she's sorry, and make things okay. If she does, will you take time to play with her one day? Will you play with me? Wow. Yeah, the power of Natsuki's poems is definitely in her last line. What the hell? I mean, the entire poem is definitely... I mean, yeah, well, yeah, it's a Natsuki poem. What can I say about it? It's cute and fluffy, and with the rhymes, it sounds very nice. And then it comes to some serious territory here, but these final final four lines. I know she realizes herself a bit as well, you know, like she's like, hey, I'm pushing people too far away because of this. It worked too well. And then watched her friends play from her hole of a home. She still wanted to play with them, but she was alone. And then she should say that she's sorry and make things okay. If she does, will you take time to play with her one day? And then, okay, and then that last line, will you play with me, Mark? Like, boom! Right in the feels. Triple dots. Oh, shit. She likes me. Let's do the same thing. And on that bombshell, it's time to end. Thank you very much for watching. Good night.